Hello folks, hello. This is Mike from Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in a cloudy Sharpsburg, Georgia. Oh my, rain, oh my goodness. Oh wee. I've just been playing around with my car here. We had a few, I can't get on live folks, I apologize. Welcome everybody, welcome all you internet peoples. As you can see, I've been a busy guy here. Got some polisher, got my inspection light, my trim restorer. I haven't really used that today. Oh, I recoated the roof with that. There you go. That's an 8-year titanium coating. And I repolished the roof. I think I showed y'all some of that. Oh man, this wind bringing up all kinds of dust and pollen. I just did this yesterday. Took it 6 hours to cure. That is so slick, folks. I'm telling you what, that is slick. Stuff is not going to stick to that. It is so easy to wash and maintain. It's crazy. And it provides a sacrificial layer between the elements and your clear coat. Boom. Even if you don't maintain it properly and it gets water spotted and some of that stuff that gets on it etches into it, it's a relatively simple matter at that point to just buff it off and then reapply, which is what I did because I had some more paint correction I wanted to do to the clear coat. So I had to buff off the coating I had on there, which was not a big deal. Do a little paint correction, and then yesterday I recoated this thing with that. Whew, man, golly, folks, that is so slick. It's ridiculous. Of course, I have it on the rest of the car. I redid the hood, not worried about that. It's about to get repainted. I've had it on the sides. What I just did was a rinseless wash down the side there because it had sat outside for a few months, maybe a month or so, because of other customers' car for the most part. And I didn't want to get the hose out, the pressure washer, and all that stuff, and soaps, and on and on and on and on. So what I did a rinseless wash, but in this case, I used the O&R. It's a Optimum No Rinse. It's a rinseless wash, but it leaves behind a little bit of protectant, which is okay because over the top of my titanium coating on here, I have a titanium sealant, and so that stuff can go right over the top of that. And if I so choose, I can go back over it again with a little bit of that TK6, aka King's Guard top coat, to give it a little bit more protection. But yeah, you know, it was pretty dirty. So you know, sometimes they get just too dirty. They're not too good of a candidate for the rinseless wash, but I figured I'd try it, and I think you can tell I left no micro marring behind using that method. Now I have my methods a little bit different from most of the YouTube videos you see, and there's probably dozens and dozens of those out there. What I like to do is use wash mitts. I used 2 on that side, one for the upper, one for the lower panels, because that's usually the dirtiest. Yeah. So, and you can see I've got mine lined up to do the rest of the car here. And there's basically 2 kinds of rinseless washes. I've got the Optimum No Rinse mixed up in this bucket, which leaves behind, as I said, some protection. I think it's a polymer. And in that bucket, you can see I have it plainly labeled. I have the McKee's 37 in whatever it is, which leaves behind no protection. but it does a really good job of cleaning. In fact, they say you can use that as a panel prep. And in each one of these bottles, spray bottles, one of them I have the O&R. I marked it plus. That tells me it's got the protection. And in this one, I have the McKees. You know, for that spot cleaning, that kind of thing, quick detailing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man. And the other thing I wanted to show you guys right quick, I took a photograph of it. When I mix this stuff up, yeah, you could just swirl your hand around in it and mix it up. I prefer to use this. That's a paint mixer. I got it at Home Depot, I think it was. It goes in your drill. Does a much more efficient and effective job than your hand or anything else will ever do. It's just a couple of bucks. I thought, why not? Work smarter, not harder, right? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And yesterday I did a Rinseless Wash on the rear end, this wing here, spoiler, whatever you call it. It's already got pollen on it. You can see me spreading the pollen around. Gave it a quick buff. And put I think I put TK6, the King's Guard on over top of that. Came out rather nicely. And I'm getting ready at this point in time to do this side. As you can see, with this titanium coating, even though it hasn't been washed in over a month, hasn't even been sprayed off with a hose, that coating, just sitting out in the rain, has washed most of the dirt off of it. Dirt just won't stick to this stuff, folks. I'm going to do a little rinseless wash on it because it is dirtier than it looks, especially with that pine pollen on there. Dust from inside the garage from where I was buffing. It doesn't look dirty, but it is. So if I did not have the titanium coating on there, yeah, I'd have to get the power washer out, the strip soap, the clay, all that stuff out. But with this coating on here, maintenance is a snap, folks. I'm here to tell you. I'll go back later and clean the wheels and tires. The tires I may have to scrub down because they're new. They're new. They're only about a month old. They don't have any mouth, so I'm gonna have to clean the rubber pretty good and put a coating on there. I'll clean the wheels, probably just put a sealant on there. All this dust and dirt. But I'm going to use my method. What I do is I wash the car with those mitts like I've showed y'all in previous videos. Then I go back and dry it off with this high grade drying towel. They're pricey, but worth every penny. I'm here to tell you. I have a bunch of them. Even though this one towel would probably do 3 or 4 cars the size of mine. It'll absorb almost 2 gallons of water. Can't do without them. That's called a sucker. It's from Aqualux Detailing Supply. You can Google that. A young man and his wife own that. Just them. They're the only employees. They handle everything. So I like to support them. And you know, if this wasn't a high quality drying towel, in fact, it's the best one I've ever used, I wouldn't buy from them. But since it's such good quality at a decent price, I like to support them. And he started selling some entry-level coating too, I believe, on his website. Oh man. So what I like to do, I'll take these wash mitts and I'll dunk them down in the bucket, squeeze them out so they're wet but not dripping. And I'll take my cordless sprayer here, which I have the O&R in it. In fact, I'll go ahead and do it now. This is the method I like to use. And I will just spray this down. And I'll let it sit for a little while, a couple minutes maybe. So I'm spraying that pollen dust down. And it has what they call surfactants in it, which will encapsulate the dirt and pull it away from the surface. And it also has lubricants in it, which if you do this properly, minimizes any scratching that you would do. A lot of professional detailers say this is actually a safer method than your traditional washing methods. In many cases, I agree. Now, if it was really dirty, you know, had mud slung up on it, that kind of stuff, I would pull it out, spray it, do a pre-rinse with the power washer, then I would pull it in here and then do the rinseless wash. Still much faster, much easier than getting your buckets out, all that stuff, and the wash mitts and the power washers and all that stuff, hose, and on and on and on and on. And it takes you a long time. And you know, if you need to get in these little cracks and crevices, yeah, it still works. You can grab you a, this is a very soft, very soft detail brush, and you can get in those cracks and crevices just like you would with a traditional wash. It does a very good job of cleaning glass, and that protection it leaves behind makes your glass a little bit better clarity, gives it some shine and gloss, and protects it so that when stuff hits it, it just rolls off. But this glass has also got that titanium glass coating on it, which I put on there 2-3 years ago. It's still functioning just fine, so I didn't redo this. As I told y'all the other day, I did redo the windshield because when I initially put this stuff on, I only did one coat for some reason. I don't remember why. I think I wanted to see how it worked, and it worked for a very long time. But they recommend 2 coats, so I went back the other day, prepped it properly, you know, stripped it, clay barred it, all that stuff, polished it, prepped it with alcohol, 100%, and then I applied 2 coats, which takes a little while, but it's very simple to do, very easy to do. Just follow the directions, watch a couple of videos, and you can do this, folks. And it helps your glass a lot. Now they say, and I found it to be true, that you really don't need your windshield wipers up to about 30-35 miles per hour. And I have found that generally to be true. So what I liken it to is Rain-X on steroids. You know, Rain-X is good stuff. It is. It's not bad. But it only lasts a couple of weeks. This lasts a couple of years. Of course, it costs more. You know. But it didn't take, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the bottle to do this vehicle. If you have a much larger vehicle, you might want to get 2 bottles, like a big truck or a van with really huge windows or a big SUV, because one coat, it goes much faster, much faster. But I just want to jump back on here, maybe put some stuff on there I might have forgotten. Just show you what I'm doing, playing around. But you know, even as a professional detailer, with this crappy Mako paint job I've got on this car, I'm extremely happy, even as a pro, with this rinseless wash. Now I may go back and put the King's Guard top coat on it, just for a little extra protection, extra gloss and shine. Why not? Why not? It only takes a few minutes. Very easy stuff to provide. Now that label says for professional use only, but I could teach a 5-year-old how to put that on. Nothing to it, folks. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. Like, tag, share, follow, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, all that stuff. I appreciate y'all. Sorry I couldn't go live, but around here when it rains, and it rained earlier, it affects my internet for some reason. Every time it rains, I've had them come out and look at it, and they say, nah, there's nothing wrong. Okay. But the other times it's pretty good. But if it rains, you can almost count on it. The internet, it doesn't stop. It just slows down. Oh well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Don't sweat the small stuff, right? I'm gonna get up close. If y'all can see any micro marring in that paint, let me know, because I don't see it. I see some imperfections in it from that Mako paint job. You know, I even get the dadgum inspection light out. Let's take a little look here. Got some residue from the stuff. With the inspection light, you can see a little bit, but there's not enough paint on this car to go after that stuff. But unless you catch the light just right, you're not going to see it. Now this is, I'll show you guys this. If on a typical newer car where you've only got about 4 to 6 mils of paint, you would only want to do what's a one-step polish, perhaps an all-in-one polish, and you will get 80% to 90% probably, depending on how hard the clear coat is with that procedure. And with no more clear coat than what's on top of that, that's probably as far as you want to go. Now I could attack some more of this stuff here, but as I said, with this El Cheapo Mako paint job, now I have put a little extra clear coat on here, that Optimum Clear Coat Restorer. So I could, but it's risky, pretty risky. But you know, for a grocery getter, run around town car, this ain't bad, because it definitely passes the 2-foot, 4-foot test. The only way you're going to see the imperfections, most of them on this car, is if you really get up close, use an inspection light like this, or an LED flashlight. Most of the LED flashlights do a pretty good job of doing this, but this is a high dollar light that's designed just for this. It does a better job. I have 2 or 3 other lights, cheaper ones, that I used to use, and they work. They just don't work as near as good as this one. It's rechargeable. I've got 2 of them. Stays charged a very long time and recharges quickly. This one's called a Speedmaster. I forget where I got it from. Let's see, Auto Geek, I think. I like these much better than the cheap ones. Man, they're heavy. It's got a big old battery on the bottom of it. Man, you put this thing on a piece of metal, it ain't going nowhere. And you can bend it and adjust the angle of it. Love it, love it. Don't know how I ever got along without them. It's great, 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 great. But hey, most of y'all, you know, even on the DIY level, weekend warriors, driveway warriors, as I like to call them, you can get to this level. Yeah, sure you can. Like I said, just get you some 3D1 or some all-in-one polish, a medium buffing pad, and just get you a, you know, a cheaper, lower entry-level dual action polisher, and go to town. Go to town. Watch a few videos and just get to it. You can get close to this level, very close. With, you know, it just takes a little patience, diligence, perseverance, and some know-how, and watch what you're doing. Don't get in a hurry, and you could get pretty close to this, pretty close. I don't know if you'd get this level of shining gloss, because I have, like I said, that titanium coating on there, which was kind of pricey. But they do make some entry-level coatings, which are relatively easier to apply. Of course, the drawback to them, and they're way cheaper too, is the longevity of them is usually about 2 years, where the coating on mine is 8 years. It's much more difficult to apply and much more expensive. So you make up your own mind. Okay, folks, thank you very much. I've rambled on almost 20 minutes here. Holy cow. Thank you. Bye-bye.